Hey, what's up you guys? This is L.o.L with Troy Anthony. And of course I am Troy Anthony. I gotta be Troy Anthony. Now guys, if you are new to the L.o.L experience, L.o.L stands for Living Our Lives. Living our lives and living them out loud. And the show's theme is why we have to live our lives and why we have to live them out loud, because life is a banquet. It is a it's a butterfly. Single ladies, robot, It's a banquet. And most poor suckers are starving to death. So what we must do, what we've got to do together, regardless if you're black, you're white, you're short, you're tall, you're slim, you're a little voluptuous, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're young, whether you're old, regardless of the community that we are in, we've got to live our lives. Live, baby. L.o.L with Troy Anthony. So I'm living, and hopefully you guys will live with me on this journey and on this talk show. Alright guys, so this is the 11th show, and as always, if you can't tell, I'm super elated to be back in front of you guys, to be back in front of this camera, to be back home. Today's topic, without further ado, is dealing with childhood issues. This topic like really is close to home for me, because I was talking to one of my best friends. His name is Paul. He lives in Missouri. Hi, Paul. And we were talking about an old friend of ours. He's no longer in neither one of our lives, but you know, this conversation just happened to come up, and his name came up in conversation, and I happened to ask him, well, how's he doing and what's been going on with him, and he kind of gave me some discouraging news, and it just really, it made me feel sad. It made me a little angry. It made me feel all the things that I felt when I was a child, and that took me to being on camera. It takes me to being on camera right here in front of you all to this topic. Our childhood issues. As always, LOL, I'm going to start with myself. I always start with myself. I'm as transparent as I possibly can be on this show, because this is not just your life that I want you all to live. I want to live my life with you all as well, regardless of who you are. And I've had a tumultuous childhood. I mean, tumultuous. I did not come from a family that was emotionally supportive. And again, I'm a Cancer. And Cancers are very sensitive to our emotional environment, climate. And I like to think us Cancer children aren't bad children. We're sensitive, and we need encouragement and love and hugs and kisses, as any child does, but we are especially sensitive, and I didn't get any of that growing up. I can count on one hand how much my mother told me she loved me. And my dad died at an early age when I was 10. I never knew my biological father, and I was later adopted. And it wasn't until I found an adopted family that I found that love. But for a good 14, 15, 16 years of my life, there was no love in my household. And I made a lot of bad choices. And bad is putting it mildly, looking back on it. I dabbled in drugs. I dabbled in excessive drinking. I hung out with the wrong crowd. I did not treat my body as a temple. And when I say I didn't treat my body as a temple, yes, I have no problem saying that I made some bad sexual choices with the people that I laid next to. But by the grace of God, by the grace of God, someone was always loving me more than I ever loved myself. But I recognize all those choices that I made were all stemming from the fact that I was angry at my mother. I was angry at my dad for leaving me at an early age. I was angry that my grandmother couldn't take care of me. I was angry that I had to be adopted. I was angry at God because I felt like he totally gave up on me. I was angry. I was angry. I was hurt. I felt unloved. I felt sad. I cried. I was pissed. I was every emotion you can possibly think of for a very long time. I was resentful. And I lived in that resent for a long time, my L.o.Lers, a long time. And it took a lot of good jobs from me. It took a lot of good people out of my life. It took myself away. It took that little boy who was sensitive and loving and caring and a beautiful child of God away, and I became the total opposite of that. And when I became the total opposite of that, my L.o.Lers, I wanted other people to feel the same way I was feeling. You know, misery loves company. And I was determined to make everyone around me miserable. I thank God because, again, loving me more than I love myself, I eventually got to the point where I had to deal with these childhood issues. I thank God because he forced me to move back home, back into my mother's house, the same mother that, again, I can count how many times on my hand told me she loved me. It forced me to have a conversation with my grandmother and forgive. And forgiveness, my L.o.Lers, is a part of the experience of dealing with childhood issues and emotional hurts. It forced me to recognize my dad, it was his time to go. And I had learned everything that I needed to learn from him in those 10 years. It taught me that Jesus loves me. And he loves you all. L.o.Lers, if we want, I believe, true happiness in our lives, if we want to accomplish our goals and marry the love of our life, or heck, go traveling and seeing the world, it starts with where we were first once hurt. And I know, regardless if you're black, if you're white, if you're religious, or if you're atheist, if you're gay, if you're straight, it starts at childhood. And children don't do what they're told. They do what has been shown to them. And I grew up in a household where I didn't see people showing love. I didn't see people giving each other hugs and kisses. I didn't see a real work ethic to a common goal. But again, in my faith, by the grace of God, he was always looking out for me. My L.o.Lers, regardless of what you are or where you are at in life, I know it hurts like hell. It will hurt like hell because now you have to resurface all this emotional hurt is going to resurface. All those, I call them emotional boxes that we have put up in the closet, stored away, locked up, we have to now take down and deal with them one by one by one by one. And the shit hurts. But we are worth the emotional work. We are worth the emotional work of going back to when we were first hurt and letting it go. letting it go, because we can't be defined by that. We should not be defined by that. We are more than our hurt. As I sit here on this camera, my L.o.Lers, as I continue to live my life and be who God has sent me here to be, I'm hoping that you will do the same with me. That we can let go of our hurts. And mind you, new hurts will arise. They will form. And we'll have to let them go as well. Life will be full of hurts. Hell, I hurt yesterday. I'm probably going to hurt tomorrow. But we don't have to hold on to them. I don't want us to hold on to them. We have to recognize that life is a dance, baby. And if we're so focused on our hurt, we recognize that we totally disconnect ourselves from the dance. L.o.Lers, I want us to deal with our emotional hurts. I'm still dealing with them myself. You know, again, being transparent, I am getting married. I'm getting married. I'm getting married, Jesus. I'm getting married. I'm getting married. And I've been contemplating with, do I want to invite my biological family to my wedding? And I came to the answer today. Yes, I'm inviting them. Because I'm letting go. I'm a grown man, and I'm a grown man in Jesus, and I'm a grown man that has my own happiness in someone else. So I can let go of the things and people that once didn't make me happy and forgive that and invite them into the happiness that I am now forming for myself. Because I'm worth, we are worth, you are worth, we are all worth this happiness that is life. Go back, my L.o.Lers, and deal with that childhood pain. Whether it came from your mother, who maybe abandoned you, your father who was never there, your grandparents who tried their best, but their best wasn't good enough. Maybe it came from a friend or multitude of friends who just royally screwed you over. Maybe it came from yourself. Whoever it came from, deal with it, feel it, forgive it, and release it. Alright guys, so that's the show for today. Let us deal with our emotional childhood hurt. Because where we were in our childhood and who we were and how much we got hurt, we do not have to be that in adulthood. We can be the total opposite. I am encouraging us to be the total opposite. Whether you, again, are gay or straight, black or white, religious or atheist. Deal with your hurt and go and get your happiness. Because we deserve it. Alright, you guys, so keep watching. Keep tuning in. Write your comments on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, L.o.L. Troy Anthony. That's L.o.L. Wish I had a band for that. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to my page and keep being the viewer that you are. Stay blessed, stay beautiful, stay you. Peace.